Well, I'm whole, yes, I am complete. Here's an affirmation for you. Finding the answers I seek. There's wisdom in every seed. And what's true? All that I need lives in me. All that I need is in me. All that I need is in me. So this morning I'm going to be exploring some spiritual practices, one in particular, and the inner work of finding our unique voice on our path to our evolving consciousness. Anybody else ever get stuck finding their path or their voice? That's me all the time. Yeah, so I'm going to read something by Rashi John Halifax, because I found this really powerful. All too often, our so-called strength comes from fear, not love. Instead of having a strong back, many of us have a defended front, shielding a weak spine. In other words, we walk around brittle and defensive, guilty, trying to conceal our lack of confidence. If we strengthen our backs, metaphorically speaking, and develop a spine that's flexible but sturdy, then we can risk having a front that's soft and open. How can we give and accept care with a strong back, soft front, compassion, moving past fear to a place of genuine tenderness? How do we do that? I believe it comes when we can be truly transparent, seeing the world clearly and letting the world see into us. So to me, that's a really important part of this. So I have an affirmation that I would like to read once, and then it's a slide. Have you read with me. I confidently speak my truth and advocate for myself with clarity and strength. Let's all say that together. I confidently speak my truth and advocate for myself with clarity and strength. Kind of a tall order, huh? Yeah. So a big part of feeling confident is recognizing that all we need is already within us, which is what the song was about. All that we need is inherently us, because we are all just extensions of something so much greater and more powerful than just us as individuals. We're all extensions of the universal truth, God, source, whatever name you want to call it by. So Ernest Holmes teaches us, here's my next slide, Marcia, that life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. So I often, when I was around my niece and nephew and my grandkids, when they were being really critical of someone or something, I would say, turn the mirror around. How are you behaving? Is this an issue you have as well? And that's, I've tried to live by that. It's pretty tough practice, because you see a lot of this stuff in yourself that you may not want to be seeing. So these are very powerful words, and I've seen this concept of life is a mirror and we reflect back to you what the thinker thinks into it. Now, I've seen this all of us probably know someone or have been that someone that at times get so fixated on some narrative or some story that we've made up, or some inner dialogue or something that the committee, I told you I have this committee that lives in here, it's very busy a lot. Something the committee might have told us that we actually create this awful situation or some confrontation based on this ridiculous story that we're telling ourselves, the thinker that we're thinking into. So instead of creating a strong back, which means that we are confident and flexible yet solid in our understanding of our oneness with everything and everyone, we watch ourselves and others navigate life in this ridiculous defensive mode that doesn't serve anybody. So it's in essence defending enemies that don't exist. Anybody done that besides me?
Oh yeah.
Anybody had somebody tell you a backstory on somebody you're about to meet? And so you carry that into your introduction with this person, into your relationship with this person, only to discover that that was their story. That was their experience with that person. And you're finding, when you finally have the soft open and the sturdy back, you find out that this person is actually an amazing person, and perhaps your friend who warned you about that person was carrying their own baggage into that interaction. Boy, that happened to me enough times pretty early on in my life, especially with one friend in particular where I had just moved to a new area, that I would just disregard pretty much whatever warnings I received, and I have done this ongoing with pretty much all new people that I meet. Meet them at face value. Meet them in that moment and see how they behave toward you. So this is a very good practice. I mean, what good is it to be reflecting back to something that someone else told you about that person, instead of letting them shine on you and reflecting back to them whatever that experience is. So when we choose to perceive the world as evil, or some race, religion, group of people as other, don't like that word so much anymore, othering, because we all do it to some degree. Instead of doing that and deciding that other people are evil and perpetuating this ridiculous sense of separation, instead of checking in with our hearts, and it might be a little uncomfortable sometimes, especially in situations that we're not feeling completely ourselves in or completely comfortable. The mirror effect is that we bring our own perceptions, energy, good or bad, into every situation. So sometimes we choose to vilify others when there's actually no legitimate reason to do that. So Ernest Holmes teaches us, here's my next slide. The greatest good that can come to anyone is the forming of an absolute certainty of themselves and of their relationship to the universe, forever remaining in a state of calm. Now that last line is the forever remaining in a state of calm. Anybody besides me have a little issue with the state of calm in today's world? Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough one for me. That's probably the hardest part for me. I get it intellectually, but getting into that balance of, wow, if I could just hang on to my center, if I could just keep that sturdy back and still be loving, how might this go differently than if I just harden myself to the situation? So I'm not saying that all situations can instantly be remedied by being calm or loving, but I can say that the simple act of firstly loving ourselves enough to get to that place, to get to that sturdy back, that strong back, and that soft front, is only going to propel things in a much more positive direction than if we harden up. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. When you're up against something that's triggering you, and it could be at work, it could be in the grocery store, it could be at an HOA meeting, it could be your adult child coming home, it could be some idiot on the freeway, which there's a lot of lately. Have you noticed? Like more than ever. I think people are really stretched and stressed. So what I do and what I recommend we all do is take a deep breath and ask, what would love do here? And then take another deep breath and listen for divine guidance. Sometimes there will just be silence, but often there will be a directive of some sort. What would love do here? The answer lives inside. Trusting through the fear, pushed beyond our pride. What is it that we're searching for? What is it that we need? beyond our grief. Let's let love live here. Let it be our guide. Lean into that powerful strength always supplied. Love is what we're living for, in a divine grace. It's found inside our open hearts, and it's what our souls embrace. Oh, love, yes, love. What would love do here? Love can heal the world. That's what love, that's what love, that's what love can do. What is it that is mine to do? Can it really be the change? Compassion is so powerful, short-sightedness to blame. Every time I look around, in everything I see, love is what we're longing for. Love is all we need. Oh, love, yes, love. What would love do here? Love can heal the world. That's what love, that's what love, that's what love can do. We have so much power that we're willing to see or use, especially to diffuse angry confrontations and to stand our ground when something's clearly wrong. That's the time to really step into our power, knowing that there's strength in unity. Finding other like-minded people. I love that in the Bible it says wherever two or more are gathered. That's such a beautiful metaphor, such a beautiful way of looking at the power of shared consciousness. And we need that in this world more than ever, to awaken and to protect those who are more vulnerable than we are. We need to grow into that self-confidence by working on our personal relationship with the mind, our personal relationship with God. Remembering that all we need is already in us. That's why I wanted to do All That I Need Is in Me, because it is. And that song, I so needed a reminder, and I was actually singing in support of one of my favorite ministers, Reverend Kristen at the Unity in Walnut Creek. She's great because she usually gives me like a mini paragraph of what she's talking about, and that woman's a channel. So we all need that reminder that it's all in us. We don't need to be looking. I mean, it's wonderful to get to be reminded by those who love us that might be operating at a little higher level of consciousness. To have the ones that love us remind us it's already all in here. We don't have to go looking for it somewhere else. But we do need to be reminded that we're all connected and that all that we need is actually within each of us. Sometimes simply holding our ground can be the strongest, most heart-opened way to handle a situation that's testing our boundaries. I love Anne Lamott. She reminds us that no is actually a complete sentence. That little teeny word can be so hard to get out of our mouths sometimes. So I want to share a poem I just happened to find this on the internet day before yesterday. And anybody love Meryl Streep?
Yeah.
Well, this, I just really wanted to share this with you all. I dedicate myself to myself for the rest of my life without haste, without excuses. I don't know how much time I have left, but I want to spend it remaining true to who I am. without letting anyone disturb my inner peace. I now grant myself the right to open a bottle of wine for no particular reason, to buy myself flowers without waiting for someone to give them to me, to walk without ever holding back. To walk without ever holding back. Happiness found me the day I stopped looking for it in others and discovered it within myself. I'm going to read that one again. Happiness found me the day I stopped looking for it in others and discovered it within myself. Life cannot be replayed, and I have decided to live it to the fullest. Isn't she marvelous? So as we move forward in the coming days, I invite you all to practice the practice of checking in and asking yourself, what would love to hear? And to remember that each of us has a unique value that's just ours. That we don't have to be like anybody else. Just be yourself. Everybody else is taken. And I repeat that often to myself. Why do I want to be like this person? Just be me. Just focus on the qualities that are our best qualities. And work to develop those and stop trying to be a clone of something that's not us. Florence Scovel Shinn reminds us the subconscious mind takes us at our word. So I want to encourage you to pay attention to your thoughts and your words. And when something comes up that gets your ire up, ask what would love to hear, and then listen. And then do what it tells you. Thanks for having me.